Good morning, everyone. Good morning,
Hi.
Aleš. How are you
Hello.
this morning?
Well, it's afternoon, but I'm fine,
Oh,
thanks.
it's afternoon. I'm sorry. Yes, of course. Good afternoon, Aleš. Good evening to people in New Zealand, Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
It's late there already.
Yeah. If they're still awake and watching, so it's
Mm.
not that late. I mean,
Yeah,
9 or 10,
exactly.
something like that. So they
Mm.
could be awake and watching us. So we have another exciting episode of Ask Aleš. Anything about WikiTree Plus? I see in your post you were more specific about what do you want to know about WikiTree Plus. So we're not going
Well,
to be
I can
asking
also talk about the weather in Slovenia if you want,
the
but
weather in Slovenia. What's the weather in Slovenia like?
it's sunny now, but we have some snow. So
No
I was
snow?
already skiing over the weekend.
Oh, you were skiing. Nice,
Mhm.
nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure your skiing in Slovenia is much more interesting than the skiing here. I mean, we have what we call ski hills
Mhm.
in Ontario where we are, but they're nothing. They're like puppy hills compared to
Mhm.
the real stuff. So good,
But you have a lot of snow.
but we do have a lot of snow. Yes, yes, yes. And I mean, on Christmas Day we were snowed in. Like we were completely snowed in. The snow on our side road where I live was up to my waist in places, and it was
Mhm.
so deep that even snowmobiles got stuck in it. So um, I'm thinking if it's called a snowmobile, it should go through all types of snow, but apparently that's not true. So, anyways, so it's exciting. We've actually got 4 questions. We're not just
Okay.
we don't just have to make up questions on our own. Though there's always something to talk about with WikiTree Plus and all the amazing work you do, Aleš. So that's
Mhm.
never been a problem for us. Um, so do you want me to just go through the questions in the order they're here?
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, Robbie Burns there. I posed a question to Aleš earlier, so that's why Robbie Burns was on there. Um,
Mhm.
Last week's live cast was all about Scottish profiles. So here's a question from NG Hill. I did try to ask this question before, but was unsure if the January question was the correct place. So here's a question. As a fairly recent data doctor, I try and avoid profiles with recent edits and active managers. So I would like to know if there's an easy way in WikiTree Plus to know when the last edit was done on a profile. Are there magic words for that? And when was the last contribution date of the profile manager?
Yeah, it's very simple answer. No.
Oh, oh,
And both count. I mean, I could add the when the last edit was done, but
mm-hmm.
after 2014, the match count goes into several millions for each year. So it's
Oh,
really there is no point to have last edited in 2023 because 5 or 6 million profiles were edited this year or even more. So I decided at the time that only for those old profiles that were never edited, actually, this is of some interest. So no, I mean, we don't have that. I could add some such a magic word, but um, if it's a whole year, it will have a million results. So not
mm-hmm.
really useful. As for the manager's contribution, this is very complex query that would need to go through several tables, so it's not really possible to make it available online. Offline, I could make such a query, but not online.
Not online, right? Yeah, yeah. So for those who aren't sure about how tables and queries work in databases, the information is stored. There's multiple. If you could think of multiple spreadsheets, and different spreadsheets have certain information which link to another one, which links to another one. So to get to the the question that was, and Aleš might be showing us some of that. So to get the
Yeah,
actual
I
information.
could just show you the number of fields in the
Okay.
basic profile table, the person's table.
Yeah.
Uh, so just let me find it. I think it's here. dump. Form, or actually, it would be even better. And all. Okay, so if I go to automatic mask, so these are all the fields for a person. So here is around 100 of them. And then if we have even more, if we include children, spouses, and so on. So here, the number of fields goes into several hundred for each record.
Wow.
But this is kind of modified. So, I mean, here are a lot of virtual fields that are used in calculations and comparison of the dates and so on. So, so here, for instance, year 2010, now this has to, so I compare if this date is bigger than something, I have to use the max date. So this is kind of equal to the 31st December in 2010, and this is January 1st in 2010. So I have those fields kind of calculated on the flow online and do the comparisons upon them. So here are many, many fields for each record. So
right.
This is really a lot of data.
Yes. So to get to some of these other ones where you have to piggyback that, take a
Yes,
calculation.
then some are relationally connected to other tables and so on, and this then
it gets very complex. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know. So sorry,
NG
there's
Hill.
no quick answer to that. I apologize. Okay, Patricia Roche. Oh, and I should say, welcome to everyone in the chat. We have a few people already. We have 18 people live in the chat so far. John, Stuart, Margaret, Steve, Susan, Sandy, Caroline, Mindy, Tommy Buck, and June, and Betsy. And D has joined us too. So if you have questions, put your questions in the chat. I'm going through the ones on the G2G post first, and then I will come back and see if you people in chat have some questions for us as well. So that's great. And they're talking about snow there. From the chat. Even in San Antonio? Wow. That's wild. Back to the next question in the G2G. Patricia Roche asks, I use WikiTree Plus to find profiles to work on using search text such as unsourced Oregon orphan, last name at birth equals unknown orphan Iowa, unconnected Tennessee orphan. So all those things work for her. But she says, I live in Washington State and would like to bring up profiles that need working on here, but every state in the United States has a Washington County. And then there's Washington, D.C. So I get huge lists of profiles from all over the country. How can I get profiles for just the state of Washington?
So it's quite easy. The Washington word should be enclosed. So since this is the state, states are recognized and placed in the separate index. So you just say country equals Washington. So we can first check the number of profiles of results we have without this. So we have 14,000 profiles containing these three words. Now, if we limit this just to the country Washington, it gets reduced to 7,000. So all the others were not in the Washington state. So we can even show if I want to see those that were removed right now, I could put a query in like so that are Washington and not in and that the country isn't Washington. So we can see here here's some. This is last name
His last name was
Washington,
Washington there.
and so on. So it is always Washington on a profile somewhere.
Country equals Washington.
So this is Washington in Texas, and this is the one that she didn't want. So
Yeah, and
we
Washington,
remove.
Pennsylvania there.
So limiting by a country gives much better result. You could also limit by location. So this would make the result somewhere in between, where the Washington in the name or in category will be removed, but the ones in the location will stay. So this one is still in Washington in Texas.
And if you said Washington, comma, United States, would that still include? Would that still grab the Texas?
Yes, it would. It would. You can. I mean, Washington is unique, so Washington is in a country table. But we have a few problematic ones, like for instance Wales.
Mm-hmm.
With Wales, you get Wales in England, and you get the New South Wales results.
Right. Now, if you go country equals Wales, the same thing.
Yeah. So okay, even with country equals is country.
So country will
yes, because in the country index I also have the states or region, or for Australia the regions and so on. So New South Wales is everything what is in the country table. So if we this depends on the.
So would the same thing work in, like, if I wanted to just look at Ontario, Canada? So for the province of Ontario, I could say country equals Ontario.
Yes, of course.
And I wouldn't get Ontario, California.
You would probably if in the country
there's a city in California called Ontario.
Yeah. No, that is not. Here you can see. Here you can check. So, for instance, if you can go to Canada. Okay, so these are the entities that represent country to me. So it's Canada, Acadie, British Columbia, and so on. So Canada West. This is a hard one to search for.
Yes, yes, that's right.
Especially if there would be two Wests. So these are the entries that are in the country index.
Right. Okay.
So, and now here. So here we had Wales, but we also got many of New South Wales index. Okay, so these are also the Australian ones are also matching. So here, if you have such a problematic word in the country, you can use not Australia, and it will remove all Australian ones.
Good.
So there are a few combinations of the places that needs such distinction.
Right.
So just the country equals the state is the solution for US.
Right. Well, that's good. I wouldn't have thought that the state name could be used with the country keyword, but that makes a lot of sense.
Now, recently, since there were some problems, I am thinking about splitting country index into country and region one, where you would then use region equals Washington that would solve the Wales problem, because Wales is a state in UK and it's a country in UK and state in South Australia.
Right. Right.
So maybe I'll do this in the near future.
Cool. Okay. Well, there you go, Patricia. There's your answer. And then Stephen 80 asks, what is the best way to run a query on plus.wikitree.com and get the results back to a live app on apps.wikitree.com? Ooh. So he's an app developer here.
Yeah, well, for application developers, so here all the searches that you perform on WikiTree Plus, this goes just for profile searches, not the suggestion searches and so on.
Right.
You can select the output format. So HTML is a normal one for browsing. Then you can also show the results in Excel files. So if we click here, if we click get profiles, we will get these 5,000 profiles in an Excel file.
Oh, okay.
Did I click it? And here it is. It was created, download it, and now I can have a look. I can open it in Excel on a local computer.
Wow.
Well, it's opening on the other screen. Let's move it here. So here are now these results, found profiles in Excel. So all the here are a few more columns, and the display is slightly different, but what I found useful is included in these results.
Right.
Then you also have then another format is separated values. So this is a text file where the values are separated. This is also for exchange within. You can then import such file into any database or whatever. The columns are the same, except the difference between the two is just the maximum size of the result set. So Excel file was recently limited to 20,000 profiles because it takes around 15-20 seconds to create such a big Excel. And the comma separated file is limited to 100,000 profiles. So if you have more to export, you can use this one. And the last one is the JSON format. This one is limited to 1 million profiles, but it returns only the user IDs. So this is meant for applications to perform a search and get the user IDs of the resulting profiles. Then the developer has to use the API to retrieve other data for these profiles. So this is computer language now.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
A whole bunch of numbers.
Right. And so is there a...
yes, and this JSON, if we click here, show results in separate tab and click get profiles. Now here is the exact URL that is used to retrieve this data. And this can be used within the applications to search for anything that WikiTree Plus can search for.
So that was going to be my next question then. So if I'm writing an app that I want to do a search for a specific set of things, that app can query this.
So here is the query part.
Yeah.
And you can refine it here online in HTML format, and then once you have it, you can just switch to JSON and you'll get the URL.
Right. Okay. Well, that's very cool. Now I have to figure out how can I add this to my fan share. What kind of things could I search for?
You know what you can search for lately?
What could I do?
And what's your number?
11007. 11007. So
you have a new thing. This thing you can here write CC7 equals.
No, really?
Yep, and here are 820 profiles that are in your public CC7.
The public. Okay. Because my number's over 1,000 now.
Yeah, okay, but that's including private and unlisted profiles. But so this is kind of not as good as the CC7 you get on WikiTree that includes your private profiles. But if you this works for any profile, so you can, if you are working on a profile within in 17th century or 18th century, there are no private profiles. So this number actually is okay. I mean, it finds everything. So if we go to Tudor, for instance,
oh yeah,
and CC7 for him, oops, what's wrong?
Is he 8 or is he? I thought he was
I
like
don't
2
know.
or 4. Henry VIII.
One.
Oh, he's 1. 2 to the 4. 4 is Henry VIII. Tudor -4.
So here are 22,000 profiles.
Oh, that's Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth is the 2 to the 1st. Yes. Wow.
So this is a way to use the CC7 on any profile, and if it's old enough that no private profiles are involved, you will get the actual number, and also the list of all the profiles.
Right.
Nice. And you can, of course, combine that with unsourced.
Oh.
And you will get unsourced profiles within 7 generations of
Tudor one. Only 1,200. That's not bad, considering how many there were altogether. Very cool. Okay, well, that's exciting. Some possibilities there I hadn't realized before.
Well, they were not there before.
Oh well, there you go.
The CC7
getting the JSON
is 1 week.
And using that
JSON
in an
is
app.
well, actually, here on the result you see the biocheck.
Look at that.
This is already using this. I have to log in.
Right.
This is already using WikiTree Plus, so here you can query for any. I mean, the same way as in WikiTree Plus. So here you could check the profiles and cancel. So he's not here now. It's checking those 12. It would check those 1,200 profiles.
1,200, right? Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So this I can also add other links here to other apps, but for now, as far as I know, only biocheck is using.
Yeah, that biocheck is by K Knight.
Yeah.
Who is much smarter than I am. So that's not surprising. She's using that. That's great. Yeah.
Also on search result, you can, so here in first line is what you can do on search result. You can also check for suggestions based just for this profile that were found here. So this is because this now search, you cannot search, you cannot enter a query like this in here in the suggestion search. It will not work. So here that query would not work because this search is much more limited. It has some basic location and name and profile ID and so on, but just the basic ones. While this search is much more advanced, it has all sorts of possibilities, and you can then check just for the found profiles. You can search the suggestions, or you can map all those profiles. So will it work?
Will it work?
It will. So 900 profiles had location, and here I don't have the background on. Let's turn it on. Stamen.
Now, where's Stamen map? I haven't seen Stamen before.
Okay.
Is that a European mapping?
No, that's the Stamen map is based on OpenStreetMap.
Is it? Okay.
It's just rendered differently.
Oh, I hadn't seen that one before.
So here are all the profiles that were in our last search result. As we come closer, we will get all the information.
Oh, look at that.
So these have just England in the name, but the ones...
Oh, right. So they're all centered around the geographic center of England, right?
Yeah, just around one point. Well, actually, there is a pile of them.
A pile up.
Just a column.
Just like in DNA, we have things called pile-up regions. I guess in maps you have two also.
So here we have. So this is here. This way you can also display any search result on a map.
Very nice.
These are their direct options, and the newest one that is still being developed.
Okay.
But I can probably show it. Just give me a few seconds.
This is exciting, everyone. Something new.
Here it will be here.
My turn.
Okay, let's say this one.
What does Aleš have?
Okay, so I added grouping to the search result. So now here we have a query that returns 80,000 profiles.
Okay.
Okay, since it's too big, only 50,000 profiles will be queried, but I'm grouping it by that country. So here I can see out of 50,000 profiles, 21,000 died in England, 1,400 in Australia, and so on. So here I can, if I replace this query with the one that we just had with CC7. Okay.
So
one
there's
query.
22,000 of that. Oh, double query. Yeah, there we go.
So the relative 7 generations of relatives of Tudor 1 died here.
So mostly England or Scotland.
England, but this is just one of the fields that you can analyze. You can, for instance, we can check the genders. So we have 1,100 males and 11,000 males and 10,000 females, or prefix.
Oh, sir, lady, lord. Oh, that's kind of neat.
You can group by any field within the search results. So this is kind of neat. I didn't really fully explore this yet.
Yeah.
But
death age.
Okay, so 58 average. The most died at age 58.
That would mean I'm past my best before. If that's just past it.
So this is, or you can also birth century, for instance. We will get the spread. 16, 15. So this is to analyze the data. This is very strong options. I think it will be very useful for some things.
Wow.
So
that hasn't been added yet, but that's about to be added.
no, it is already functioning, but I will soon add the link to the search result to jump directly here.
Okay, cool. Nice. So just as a follow-up to that question about running a query, Steve had something. An app either needs to be able to get the information on the fly, so we can do that by encoding that query into our app and then getting the results back, not save it manually. So that's true. But now his other question: I need the number of ancestors for every profile in WikiTree.
Yeah, that's kind of.
That's I mean, you could get the. Oh, you mean like the number of ancestors, not just to a certain like.
And that's doable, but this is a lot of calculations to be done.
Right.
I know that in Connection Finder, I can get those numbers fairly quickly because it's with. I don't know. I can I could get that for. I don't know, in range like 10,000 per second, but I mean, what would he do? Why would he need these numbers is my first question, because the numbers of you have here, I have partial analyze on actually here in report sections. You can, for instance, draw ancestors. Now I won't have that much of them, but Tudor will.
Yeah.
Tudor 1. Here you can create ancestry report and it displays all the ancestors. But here the numbers is, so we can see 170 million. Now this is the number of possible, I think. Just a second, let me check. Number of possible. Yes, so this is the number of actual ancestors.
So the third column
is in third column, and this is just for each generation. But I think here in the
so it goes down to the 49th generation.
Yeah. The number of generation goes up to 60. So
who are these? Who are these people so far back in time?
I don't know. Those are around year 0. You can see them here. 25 to 78. And now you can check the descendants of this person.
It would be like everyone in the world. No, it's not everyone in the world.
11,000 are there. But I stopped checking, I think, at around 10,000. I cancel. I can show all. Okay. It will take a bit longer, probably. 66,000 of descendants. Yeah.
Okay.
And still we are in timeout mode. So.
So it's actually even that
is well. This is 10 seconds. The report was preparing for 10 seconds, and then I cancel it because it blocks.
Right.
Although I can try it once more because now the data is cached already.
Cached, right? Okay.
And could be faster. Will it work?
Can you just hit refresh or no?
No, it's creating ancestors again. Okay. Okay, we can retry the path we took. So descended, so path we are 3. And we can go to show all.
Okay. And it's thinking there, right? There we go.
Okay, now it got to the Jedcom Mirrabam. Now we got to
93.
93,000.
Okay, we're getting closer.
And still, I don't think, and it was still timeouted. I mean, these numbers are huge for some profiles.
They are huge. Yeah, that's right.
The number of ancestors and also number of descendants both goes into millions.
Yeah.
I know from Connection Finder, where I actually do these things, it goes really into millions on some profiles.
Yeah, that's wild.
Number of ancestors.
Okay, so Steve's gonna do an update here.
Without an explicit use of it, I don't think this will be available.
So it looks like he is just talking about one person. So he's looking at the number of ancestors for a single person. So he's not actually asking for all of the ancestors of all the people on WikiTree at once. And he just wants the total numbers. He doesn't actually care about the profile details.
Yes, I know, but to get the total number, I have to actually get it and calculate it.
Yeah.
So this data is available for this, but I don't think. I don't really see the use of it. Like, does it help to know that someone has 1 million or 1.5 million ancestors? It doesn't really matter.
At that point, yeah. But it is interesting. Like, I mean, things like the fan chart goes out to 10 or 11 generations, depending on which version.
Yes, but here you can see 10 generations are
easily
pretty manageable.
Yeah. And I know some people who have deep roots into English or European royalty can go back to 20 generations, at least for some of those branches. But if you can go back 20, I don't know. Interesting.
I mean, here on 10, there is 1,000 profile. I think 1,000 profiles on 10 generations. Then it can really grow. But
then, just because it's all exponential, right?
Yes, but the actual numbers are not. I mean, as you can see here, the third column is 200, 300, 400, 5, 7, 800, and then it starts to drop again.
That's right.
And
at that point,
but that's 20th
a lot
generation.
Of them are ancestors too, right? So.
Here is the date range. So 20th generation is from 790 to 1091. These are the years of the profiles in this generation.
Right. Interesting.
So I don't know, without further explanation why we need this.
Yeah.
Just the total number is not really useful.
Okay. So Steve, my suggestion then would be is if we've answered your question, great. And if not, do some more follow-up with Aleš. Yeah. So then the last question that was added to the G2G is thoughts on creating an app that would create a WordCloud graphic to show all the names in your tree. This is from Caroline Vernon. She said, I want to create a WordCloud that highlights my surnames. The bigger the name, the more that surname is present. So do you know what she means?
No.
Okay. So a
WordCloud. I mean, WordCloud, not WorldCloud.
Not a world. Yeah, WordCloud. She said WordCloud once, and then she mistyped it WorldCloud in the second line there. So a WordCloud is it's just basically a bunch of names or words, and the words are different sizes depending on the frequency of them. So
if she needs, I don't do such things, but if she wants to do something like that, I can. Within the weekly dumps, I create the indexes. So if we let me find them. So last name at birth. No, it would be all first names, all last names. So this is the index for this is the index for all last names, and here I also produce the texts, so the number of each text that is used. So here you can I can give her this file, and then based on it those programs could create the word map.
So how many times does Clarke appear in that?
Find Clarke.
Man Clarke.
McClarkey.
Clarkey. Wow.
It's Clarke.
Bun Clarke?
Clarke. 24,000.
Okay. Now, what about Vernon? Was her last name VERWORN? VER. Yeah. V is in Victor.
Verworn.
VERWORN.
ORN.
Okay, let's see how many times there's a 38. Verworn.
Her name, I don't think her last name would be on such a map.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if someone wants to play with this, I have a similar file for first names. So all first names. No,
it's kind of fun. Yeah.
7
I think just rereading her question, she's thinking about her own. And we have a report that looks like that. There's a surnames one, I think. There's a surnames app that shows this. Well, it shows the new surnames at each generation level. So if you just did a query of your own ancestors and then just grabbed those surnames and then kept track of that, I think that's a doable app.
So there are 2,200 Gregs.
Oh wow! Okay, that's not bad. So I can't just say I'm Greg.
I think Maria is the winner.
Maria is the winner.
I don't know.
Well, look at all the versions of the Anna Maria and this Maria.
450,000.
Wow.
Actually, I can check which was the winner.
Almost 500,000.
The most. So all first names. Most. Oh, we have much more. It seems it's Joseph.
Joseph, yes.
And Janas. Oh, John is the winner.
John.
With 1.3 million.
Wow. And that's even more than Joseph, eh? Wow. Incredible.
So you can actually do here is another analyze. You can we can analyze name John. And we will get, so these are the combinations. Now, since it's 1.3 million of them, I'm removing single instances and so on until I come to the 500 mark, as I wrote here. And here are the profiles. So here are name combinations with more than 500 instances. So John Edmund, John Edmund, John Edward, and the number of how many times those appear.
Oh, okay.
So you can here analyze the combinations and the
so how did you remove the ones less than 500?
By the number of occurrences. So I think 500 names are listed in the results, and I removed all with less than 150
so
occurrences.
Your WikiTree Plus does that automatically.
Yes,
we don't set that minimum.
No, but you can increase this to 5,000, and this number will go will be just 2 ATO currencies, but now the
Oh, I
list is
see.
long.
So the max names, it fits it in. So then it
It
tells you how.
shows, it defines how many names will be displayed.
I see. Okay.
But the interesting one is the one that is here when you start WikiTree Plus. I have to remove this. Okay, so Joseph Marie. Here the interesting part is the combination of the words. So let's put here, I don't know, N. So Joseph Marie is 99% male name. Marie Joseph is 30 is 95% female name.
Yes. Oh, those are Quebec. Those are French Canadian names. I can almost guarantee. Well, I mean,
I don't think it's limited to Canada. I think
no. That's true.
all
Yeah, in
over
France as well.
place.
Yeah, but
so it's really a problem to search for Marie Joseph or Joseph Marie, because you will get both males and females as a result.
Yes,
with the same words.
The same word, just the order. The order does matter.
Well, no, actually on WikiTree Plus the order doesn't matter. So here,
I was gonna say, in real life, the order matters.
Yes, but on WikiTree Plus, this will give the same results as Joseph Marie. So, unfortunately,
now if you put them in quotes, would the order?
No, it wouldn't help.
No.
And now, if Marie is middle name, then you could maybe limit to first name or something like that. But I don't really know.
That's interesting. Okay, so Aleš is okay. Well, that's very interesting. Okay, so we actually when Aleš comes back,
that was G2G post.
Yeah, those are the G2G posts. Now Caroline's actually in the chat with us, and she says sort of a follow-up question.
Yeah.
So she got pulled away. No, she's back. She's gonna have to, or she's gonna come back. I don't know. She's a geographer, so she wants to take she wants to export the information and import it into ArcGIS, which is a mapping thing. Now, you've shown us that if you can find any search results in WikiTree Plus, you can click on the WikiTree Plus map and then have WikiTree do the mapping for you. But she could just as easily export it into an Excel file, and you showed us how to do that earlier as well.
No, I don't. Would she? So she would actually like to geolocate the last names. Is that the case? So to drawing, for instance, to draw all Canadian, what's the most frequent names in Canada, in US, in England, and so on, or something like that.
Maybe I'm not sure if this is exactly equal connected with her query on the G2G post or not.
Okay, so for now, my software that I'm using is actually our geographic information system. So I do quite some mapping. One of the results is the WikiTree Plus maps. I also power the WikiTree maps where you can look the categories. I actually provide the coordinates to that application. And probably I could do even more, but I wasn't I wasn't asked for it. So if there is an explicit need, I could probably do it. Although initially I did try to actually map all the profiles, but I mean, it's too much data. So So this is the cemetery map.
Oh wow.
So let me.
Are those colored? Are those regions? Are those states?
These are the states. No, these are
counties.
those are counties.
Counties.
I think here the states are this. So these are
Okay, I see.
states.
Yeah.
And wait, let me. I just recently imported the. GNIS database. So this is actually WikiTree database of the cemeteries.
Wow.
So here, and these connecting clients are actually the control of grouping of to check the correctness of the data. So I don't know now. I can connect them by parent, for instance. So now all categories with the same parent are connected with such line. And if where those lines go over the border, there is probably some error in data.
Oh, okay.
I think in Canada we have more such cases. So like this.
Okay.
So here is this is some cemetery.
Right.
So this is the Hillcrest Cemetery in Ontario, but it also connects to this one.
Meaford, okay. Meaford's also Ontario, but
oh, then it's okay.
Well,
no, but we have to check the parent category. So
now Cochrane
district, and this one is also in Cochrane district, but I don't think that's correct.
Meaford is not. Cochrane is northern Ontario. Meaford is more central.
Yes, I mean this cemetery, the surrounding cemeteries are in Midford, not in Cochrane. So this is one.
So that one's
this category has wrong parent.
Wrong there, yeah.
So I use this to hunt the mistakes in the data and correct them.
Yeah, very cool.
So this is our geographic information system that we developed, and it's also powering WikiTree Plus.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot.
And I did initially try to locate all the profiles, but I wasn't really successful. Maybe now I would be, because I have with the help of the country table, I have much better locations.
Right.
But again, all those profiles, there would be 1,000 profiles on London or 100,000 profiles on one point, because they all have the same address. So. And to draw a line from beginning to end, then it's just a big garbage, because everything is black.
It'll just be, that's true. Interesting. Interesting. She asked, there was one other question that she asked that I don't even know what she's asking about. So WMS friendly. Is the WikiTree database?
Well, we do have we do support the WMS, but I didn't actually enable that on the web, on the internet, because I didn't see the need for it yet. For now, because now when you map the profiles on WikiTree maps, you actually I search for those profiles and then find their locations and put them in new table, and then use that for display. So I don't have all 30 million profiles geolocated to be available by WMS service.
Okay. There was one other question that was answered, or asked earlier in a completely different vein. It's about Jedcom files. Jedcom file disappeared after merging two of me. I re-uploaded and now recomparing. Lots to look at. Can you help with the merging of a profile so I don't screw it up again? So I'm not sure if this is a WikiTree Plus question, but
no, I don't have nothing with.
You don't.
Jedcom file disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean there is a on WikiTree Plus you can search for Jedcom junk and you can search for Jedcom names if they are part of the biography. If they were removed from the biography, then you cannot search for them.
Okay, so if you were looking for Jedcom junk, how would you find that?
No, Jedcom junk, you just enter magic keyword. Oh, by the way, I completed this new help with text search. So this is now completed, and I also yesterday I think I did categories, templates with examples how to search for some specifics. And Jedcom should be where in bio part. Let's find.
Jedcom junk.
I didn't. Jedcom. No, I'm missing it in the table. It should be there.
Oh no!
I have to check that.
You thought you were done, Aleš.
Okay. I was just asking in Google group if I can remove this part of the help. Obviously, I will need to double check everything because it's not in the table. The example is not in the table, but you can put the Jedcom file name like this, and it will find it. Maybe she's missing that part.
Oh, okay.
So let's go back. Text search. So this is one Jedcom that was done, and this is actually on a profile itself. It says something. This file name.
Okay. So is it only
she removed? She most likely removed that text and now cannot find it.
Okay. So the name of the Jedcom isn't embedded in the profile's metadata. It's only there if it stays in the biography. Is that right?
It is in the biography. Yes.
It's in the biography. Yeah. It's not a separate field that's hidden and stored in your database.
It's in edit mode.
So that's why people who work with Jedcoms,
so here
even if you've cleaned up all the Jedcom junk, you should always leave the initial Jedcom file name there. So
Janus. So it must be within the biotext to actually find it.
Okay. Okay, so Dee says thank you. So hopefully that's helped her. Excellent. Okay. Anyone else who's in the chat who has any questions for us? I think we have time for one more. If I'm just looking through the chat again. Mindy's here. Hey, Mindy. If you have any other things to add that might help Dee out about Jedcom, go ahead. And Caroline, if you have any follow-ups.
If all of you don't know, the WikiTree Plus moved to a new domain. We are now at plus.wikitree.com. So this was recently done. Both URLs still work, but this is the primary one from now on.
That makes
sense.
Already
a lot of links were corrected online, and the ones from templates and so on. But still, I'm still waiting on a few applications to that use WikiTree Plus to also move to the new one, and then I will probably, for now, the old domain name still works and is tunneled, but then I will change it to a redirect, so it will automatically change to +wikitree.com.
Right.
In a month or something like that.
Good.
What else is new? I opened, I don't know how many of you know this, but WikiTree Plus and Editbot also opens the profiles that should be opened based on the birth date. So each week, 50 or 100 profiles gets opened because the 100 to 150 or year limit on a birth is reached for them. So all
it's
that
150?
Yes, for birth and 100 for death. So automatically opened our profiles before 1773, I think. February 1700, 1773,
1873.
1873, yes.
1773.
Something wasn't sounding right, so it's 1873. Yeah. Gets opened, and before I had, this is running for a few years now, but I had a lot of safeguards in place to not open a profile that shouldn't get opened if there is, in case of a typo and so on.
Right.
Because if you miss the 1000, it's a typo and maybe it shouldn't be opened, but they correct it. But those rules were extremely strict, and now I loosened them, so approximately 10,000 profile got opened 2 weeks ago. So that's new.
Yeah, well, that's good. I didn't realize it was 150. For some reason, I thought it would
100.
be
we used to have it 200 on birth and death, but then 5 years ago it was changed to 150 for a birth date and 100 for a death date. If either of those conditions is met, profile should be opened. Must be opened, and this automatically opened if you save it on WikiTree Plus.
Okay.
So what else do we have new? I changed the reports. This maybe I should mention also.
Okay, good.
In the reports, in the suggestion reports, we had here open column.
Yes.
And here in the date range, all suggestions were listed, and then here only all opened ones. But now I changed this, so private ones are listed here, and they are not listed, and they are actually excluded from these columns, because you weren't able to do much about those profiles unless you.
And it was frustrating because you think, okay, there's 24 things I can do 24 things today, but I can't because they're all private.
Now here in these columns, it actually affects only the last three Janas, last three columns, because before all are opened anyway.
Right.
So now here only the opened one are listed, and here all the private ones are listed. Right. This is not. I don't expect that someone would go over this list, because only the team members can do something about that. But I left it here so I can occasionally check the messages on the. Like if there are some messages, and so more for a review or something like that.
Right.
So it's still there, and this actually reduced the size of the reports from 40 gigabytes to the 20 gigabytes. So,
that's amazing.
Now the reports are created a few hours faster.
That's a good thing. Excellent.
So this was one of this was on the 22nd. And now this week we had grouping, which I already showed. I was asked about the limits. I changed the limits on this on different formats, because I noticed that there were some Excel exports with we took several 100,000 profiles that were created for 5 minutes or so, and most likely canceled before finished. So I then implemented these limits much lower. So CC7 was added. I removed the on WikiTree Plus. Here used to be on search. Here used to be after person 3. There was also a section to search by a manager, but that is really not needed, because you can just search for Trtnik 2, and it will display all the profiles that I manage. There might be some mistakes, but in case I'm not the manager of Trtnik 2, but to be extra sure, you can also add manager equals Trtnik 2, and then then only those profiles are included.
Okay.
I can.
Yeah. So if you got a whole keyword to do it,
340. For me it's the same, but but Trtnik 2 could appear on some template or somewhere in the somewhere, I don't know where, but somewhere.
And well, that'll just look for Trtnik 2. It won't find Trtnik 21 necessarily.
21 are different ones.
Would be different, yeah. Okay.
Yes, I have a whole word search. So what you enter here is search for the blank is separator. So
it assumes it's different. Yeah.
It's that this is one word always, and it must be a complete match. It doesn't search for the variations.
Okay. Right.
You have to manually.
And that's true for all of the different text searches on WikiTree Plus.
They're
all
WikiTree
specific.
Plus is you cannot use like something like
those
that.
magic characters.
This is not. But it does. I can search for Aleš with S.
Oh.
And it will find Aleš and Aleš.
Okay, well that's useful, especially like again in my French Canadian side, there are ones that spell the first names with or without accents. Like Angel.
Yeah, also the accents are handled with this, so you can search for Munich.
Okay.
And
is there an accent in Munich?
No, I think or I did. Munich.
Where's the accent?
I'm sure it is somewhere.
This is München. It's like the umlaut over the U.
Yeah, but even if I search München with U, it finds all the with the umlauts.
Okay.
I do. It does match. It matches the special European characters. So like. Or Doppeltes is also handled, so it doesn't matter if you write. You can write. I think you can write or you can write double S here. And it should return the same result.
It knows. Very cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks to Unicode and Windows.
Okay.
This is automatically working. I mean, this automatically works. So.
Oh, okay. What about Arabic or Japanese or characters?
You can search for them, but I
don't
can't
even know how you
write
type them in.
I know.
You know, of course. Oh, look at that. Oh, I see. There's some.
So you can type it like this, and it will find it.
That's wild. Okay. Good stuff. Well, I think this is a good quote to end.
I can even read this.
You can read that? That's amazing.
Well, it's Cyrillic letters.
It's Cyrillic, yeah.
And it was in Yugoslavia. It was one of the official languages, so we learned it at school.
Isn't that neat? Wow. That's great.
Okay, so those were the news on WikiTree Plus this week.
Excellent.
So I think that's all.
That's it. Okay. Well, I think that's Dishes and Stitches says thank you, and Mindy's got to go, and she says thanks for everything. June says thanks as well.
Like the profile, like the video, or
yes, like the video.
Did you say that?
click like down below and subscribe and all those other good things.
Oh, my camera died.
Yes. Well, I was wondering, was there something going on? Was your cat walking around your
I heard a beep beep in between, but
I thought there was something going on. You did. Oh, there you go. You're back. Okay. Anyways, thanks, Aleš, and thanks everyone who came in, and we'll see you next month.
Well, actually, we won't. You're traveling.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, Wednesday, March 1st. I'm going to be on a plane.
Well, actually, I will not be on a plane yet, I think.
Oh no, you're coming though, right?
Yes, I am, but next day.
The next day, okay.
I'm starting on Thursday in the morning, and I will be there in 2 or 3 hours, I think.
Oh wow!
Because of the time zones.
Oh, I was going to say that's a really quick plane flight. It's taken me a lot longer.
I'll be on the plane for 12 hours.
Plus, they're trying to change my flights. Oh no, yes. So Roots Tech will be happening around the beginning of the month next time, but.
So I don't know. Next month we can move it to the second week, or
we could do that. Yeah. Well, we're planning on doing a few sporadic live casts, like mini live casts throughout the Roots Tech. So we'll probably grab you for one of those at least. So
okay.
It won't be a full hour of Ask Aleš anything, but
okay.
Anyways, we'll get you on camera at one point during Roots Tech.
Yeah.
So we can promise them that, and then maybe we'll do a full one the next week, a follow-up.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone, and we'll see you at some time in the future.
On Wednesday.
On a Wednesday.